Story of the dog god Inugami, Quan Xian. Talking about Japanese monsters without mentioning Inugami is a huge omission. Inugami is a type of demon slave, or housekeeping spirit, believed to appear widely in Kyushu, Shikoku and many places in western Japan. Normally, we will see Inugami just like normal dogs roaming the streets. However, Inugami's true form has a human body, wearing very neat clothes, and a. However, Inugami prefer to be in dog form, because it avoids many eyes from prying on their owner's family or attracting unnecessary attention to the temple they guard. Inugami have many things in common with other animals. Other servants, shikigami and kitsune. In places where it is difficult to use kitsune for protection, such as urban centers, large, densely populated cities. So compared to kitsune, Inugami has a large population and a much larger habitat. There is even much evidence in recorded history of the existence of Inugami, stretching from western Japan down to Okinawa. There are records that skilled magicians can create many souls through heretical rituals to do nefarious things. Among the souls created is Inugami. Therefore, Inugami serve their masters with utmost loyalty. Some Inugami even serve their master's family. Their loyalty only disappears when their master's family mistreats them. Otherwise Inugami will serve them until humanity disappears. If a family has Inugami, they will hide them in the warehouse behind the house, or in the house, under the bed, in the closet, etc. anywhere they can hide. At the same time, there is a belief that the more Inugami a family has, when there is a new member, that member will also be gifted a protective Inugami. Families that have Inugami passed down through generations are called Inugami mochi. Inugami is a loyal demon slave. They bring homeowners prosperity and happiness, but just like normal dogs. When not being cared for, being mistreated, being treated poorly, or living in a family where there is a patriarchal husband, a promiscuous wife, and domestic violence arguing or breaking out, a resentment will be born in Inugami. Hate. They will bring disaster to the family, even biting their master to death. Like other Tsukemono and demon slaves, Inugami is also a creature that always desires to have a perfect cover, not a dog's head. So weak, soft-hearted, and sentimental people are often their victims. They will slip into their ears and gradually drift into the victim's body. When possessed by Inugami Tsuki, the victims will encounter hundreds of thousands of bad things in the world. The only way to chase Inugami Tsuki away is to ask for help from an onmyo master or a skilled magician, which usually costs quite a bit of money and time. So when you feel chest pain, arm pain, leg pain, shoulder pain, easily jealous of others and perhaps sometimes swearing at each other in dog language, then congratulations, you have an Inugami Tsuki in you. Some additional symptoms include suddenly having a terrible appetite, eating like crazy, or dying with many scratches like a dog scratching on the body. Not only humans, but also other animals such as horses, cows, and priceless inanimate objects can also be possessed by Inugami Tsuki. Possessed objects will mysteriously break, regardless of whether you just bought them. That's interesting. But the Inugami mochi family originally acquired this demon slave from dark magic, illegally even though it wasn't. Affects any person, so Inugami is still considered a demon that needs to be exterminated. If a family with an Inugami is accused of stalking their neighbors, they will have to publicly apologize and then be kicked out of that place to another place, usually on the outskirts of the city. When an Inugami's owner is accused of a crime, he will have to live far from his family, far from the noisy city, and without friends. Even when the victim is freed from the evil spirit, an Inugami's owner and his descendants are still abandoned and despised by society. They had to live a solitary life forever after. The golden age of Inugami's birth, the Heian period, had a hidden law prohibiting the use of animal spirits to cast spells. It should prove that the creation of Inugami started a long time ago. According to legend, the process of creating Inugami will begin by cutting off the head of a starved dog. A rather inhumane way to starve it is to chain it in a place far from the food bowl, or even hang the food under its neck. And let them rush madly towards the food bowl, to the point where the head is cut off by the chain. That dog will die in utter despair. Next, that head will be buried on the road, where many people pass by, usually an intersection, for people to trample on. Desperate and angry, the dog's soul will turn into Onryo, an angry soul tormented by hunger. After that, the head will be dug up, grilled or dried, and placed in a food bowl. At this time, Inugami will be used by an evil magician, obeying his master's orders until he can no longer eat. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.